to talk a little bit about safe online shopping. You know, online shopping can be a really, especially now, a really good way of doing things like holiday shopping, because it means, you know, you're not in contact with other people, you're not rushing out to stores, you're not exposing yourself. To make sure that you're doing your online shopping safely and doing it in such a way that somebody can't hack your information, get into your bank account and anything like that. So that's what we want to talk about today, is how to shop safely and securely online. So what I'm going to do is go through a couple sort of things to look out for as you're shopping online, and then we're going to go through it a little bit step by step. So what we're going to start with, I'm going to start with just a couple tips here. Always make sure that you're shopping a secure site, okay? And what a secure site is it means that it's encrypted. And encrypted means that when you put information, personal information in there about yourself, when you put in your name, your address, your credit card information, what it does is it sort of like scrambles that data. So if somebody else is trying to get in and see it, they won't be able to take that data out. So it's an extra layer of protection for you. And you always want to make sure that you're shopping from a secure site. Way to tell if a site is secure is if it has this lock right here. So you see we're on the Target website right now, and you see right next to where it says Target up there in the address box, there's a lock, and that lock indicates that this is a secure site. So every time, even if you've been to a website before, always double check that there's that lock at the top. That's the thing that makes you know that it's actually okay for you to put in your information and that it will be like hidden from somebody trying to hack in and look at it. The other thing you can do is if you're on a public computer and it doesn't have that lock thing, you should see something at the top that says in the beginning of the email address, it should say, you can see it right here too. It should say HTTPS. That S is important. That S means secure. If it's not a secure website, it'll say HTTP. So you want to make sure either you see, like I said, that lock right here, or you see that S at the beginning. So HTTPS, and the S stands for secure. Okay, so don't ever put any personal information in a site that doesn't have that encryption, that lock, or the S at the end of HTTP. All right. Another thing to think about, so that's tip number one, always use secured sites. Tip number two is if you are doing online shopping, as much as you possibly can, don't do it in a place where you'll be using public Wi-Fi. Okay, so like if you're at like a coffee shop, and you're using the Wi-Fi that goes with the store, or you're at a library, those are not the best places to online shop, because if you are using public Wi-Fi, your data is a little bit more prone to being hacked, or being, you know, people can tap into public Wi-Fi a little bit easier. So if you're going to do a lot of online shopping, I would say either do it, if you have Wi-Fi in your home, use your home Wi-Fi that's password protected, or use your data on your phone instead of using a public Wi-Fi like the hotspot. It's just a little bit more secure in that way. And you want to just up the security of that as much as you possibly can to avoid anyone getting any of your information. So again, if you're doing online shopping, try and use a private Wi-Fi connection. So something in your home or someone else's home that you know that has Wi-Fi that's secured with a password, as opposed to somewhere out in the open. Or make sure that you're actually using the data stream on your phone as opposed to Wi-Fi. So how I would do that, I'll just show you on my phone. Pulled down from the top of my menu to get my today screen. All right, and you're gonna see here right now I'm connected to, you see the very first image on here is this Netgear. That's my home Wi-Fi connection. So that's secure. If I wanted to online shop right now, that's pretty secure. It's got a password, it's password protected. So this is a good opportunity for me to online shop. If I was out in the world, however, and I was in, say, I don't know, a library, and it was having me connect to the library's Wi-Fi. So if that was coming up here where it says Netgear and it was like, you know, public Wi-Fi, New York Public Library, I would want to actually turn that off, like disconnect from that Wi-Fi in order to use my cell phone data, because that'll be more secure. So rule of thumb, either use a home Wi-Fi connection or use your data service, but don't use a public Wi-Fi to online shop. You can use public Wi-Fi for a lot of other things, to just look at the internet, look at social media. That's fine. That's not gonna like, you're not entering private information, so that's okay. But if you're shopping, try and do that on a private Wi-Fi or with your cell phone's data. It pops up to my Target screen. It's got my name because I shop at Target. And we're gonna go to the main screen. I'm just gonna hit that Target button up there. So we're gonna practice a little online shopping. I'm gonna show you some ways to make your transaction more secure. And we're just gonna use Target because it's a, you know, it's one source. There are many other sources that obviously, like, you know, all these things, Amazon, Macy's. I don't shop on Amazon right now for like political reasons, but a lot of people do a lot of Amazon shopping too. So, you know, that's secure. Anything that's sort of a big name retailer should be secure. Just double check for that lock, okay? So let's say, you know, I want to start my holiday shopping. So I'm going to go to kitchen and dining. Just see what's up here. Let's see. I'm going to say cookware and bakeware. What do I want? I'm going to look up let's say I wanted a frying pan. Say somebody I know really, really wants a frying pan for Christmas. Let's see. We're going to look at this green pan right here. Okay, so that's nice. It's about $30. I'm gonna add it to my cart. So you see this red button right here. So I could do two things. I could heart it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. So that just sort of saves it. So I know that it's in my list of things that I like. But actually I'm just gonna go ahead and add it to my cart. That's the frying pan I want. Okay. So what we have is, it tells us that it's added to my shopping cart for standard shipping. See, it gives me the option to pick up. I'm gonna do it as if I'm doing standard shipping right now, okay? So let's just say that's all I'm getting for right now. I'm doing minor holiday shopping at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead, I could say continue shopping and keep adding things to my cart, but instead I'm gonna go ahead and say view cart and checkout, okay? So you see what we have here is it says that it's shipping. I'm doing standard shipping. Okay, it's in there. I've got one. Okay, here at the bottom it says I'm ready to check out. You're going to say I'm ready to check out. Okay, so what we're going to do now, it has my delivery address in there. If you're not signed up for Target already, it might have you sign up and make an account. That's okay. Or you can usually check out as a guest too. But they'll ask you for, you know, your contact information, your address, and your phone number. That's fine. Again, you want to make sure that you're not on a public Wi-Fi connection when you're doing this. So then you're going to come down to payment. And you see you can add gift cards here. So if you had a Target gift card, we could put it on there and pay at least partially with that. And then it gives us this option of credit or debit card or PayPal. I want to talk a little bit about PayPal and why it might be helpful to you. So third tip, okay? Third tip is when you're doing shopping online, the best way or the most secure way to pay is either with a credit card or with something like PayPal through your debit card. And here's why. Your credit card has fraud protection, and it's usually fraud protection that's much better than your debit card. And your debit card is also connected to your bank account. So if someone was to get your credit card information, which again, you're doing all these things to keep them from getting your credit card information. So it's not likely that they would, but if they did, credit cards have protection for that. Debit cards, they give the person access to your bank account in a different sort of way. So you want to do whatever you can to up the security if you're using a debit card. So I would say here, if I have a credit card to use, that's what I would either use that, or I would go and use something like PayPal. And what PayPal is, it's really helpful in a couple of different ways. PayPal offers like another set of security if you're using like a debit card, or you can actually pay directly with a bank account. And what it does is you put your information into PayPal, and then every time you buy something online in a place that accepts PayPal, which is many, many places, you just go in there. So you're not entering your information every time, you're entering your PayPal account. And what that means is like, it makes it harder for somebody to get your information because you're not entering it right there. And also PayPal adds its own like level of protection as well. So let me show you really quick. I'm gonna go out of this really quick and just show you what PayPal looks like. So there's a PayPal app, and I'll show you where that is. So I'm gonna go into my Play Store. Look, that's here at the second row up. And I've already downloaded it, but I'll show you where to do it. Okay, so you're just gonna look up PayPal. And what you'll see is this one that's called PayPal Mobile Cash. That's what you want. It used to just be called PayPal, but now they've made it where you can do, where you can send cash back and forth. All right, so what I did was I made a PayPal account that actually goes with this Tech Talk email. So that's what this is. So when you go into PayPal, when you open PayPal for the first time, what it'll ask you is like, do you want to make a new account? And what you do is you link your email and you put in a password, just like when you're signing up for anything else. And you'll put in also the address that's associated with whatever payment method you're using, your bank account, your debit card, your credit card, whatever, okay? So I've already done all that, but you would see that as you come in. It's just like signing up for email or something like that. So this is what you get. This is the main screen. And right, so we're gonna say we wanna pay with PayPal, okay? And you see, we hit that PayPal button, and then there's another button down here that says pay with PayPal. Okay, and then we would log into our PayPal account and just hit pay with PayPal. Okay, so if I was gonna pay with PayPal on Target, I would go in and log in to my PayPal account, and then that would pay it directly. So that's something that you should consider if you're planning on doing a lot of online shopping, especially if you are planning on using a debit card. About every big retailer is going to have a PayPal option. So that's good to keep in mind. Okay, so let's just say, you know, I just did my online shopping and I hit save and continue. I'm not going to actually buy this, or I'm going to say place your order at the bottom. Then I'd be all set. And then 2, I would get an email in my email saying that my order was confirmed. And then once they ship the order, I should get an email there saying, here's your tracking information. And that'll give you tracking information for USPS or however they're shipping it. So you can make sure that it's coming to you in the right way. Be really wary of deals that look too good to be true, especially if they're coming in through your email. If it's an email you don't know, if it's a promotional email, I would say don't click on links. And you know, if it's something that just seems bizarrely cheap, there's probably some weird gimmick going on there. So just be smart about that. If somebody really desperately wants to hack you, I mean, nothing is completely secure, but it's like anything else. It's like, you know, it's like going outside and wearing a mask. I mean, you do what you can to protect yourself. So, you know, I mean, nothing is risk-free. Even shopping, you know, in person, people can get access to your account as well. But, you know, you just do as many things as you possibly can to protect yourself. So that's what we're kind of looking at here. Bye.